The thing about duels in fiction is that there's multi-case of different cool things about them. For every fight, every character. My favorite game of all time, Asura's Wrath, does not have duels in the same way as one of my other favorite games, Ghost of Tsushima. But the appeal of these clashes is the godly, bussin', antic, and instinct that comes with them. The fact that it's all about who's the better shine of skill, power, and versatility. And the dynamic scene versatility of Jin Sakai is like no other. And that is the main appeal of Ghost of Tsushima when it comes down to its duel/boss fight, besides the stellar story and the bussin' antics of the game. In today's video, as you see by the title, we're going to be taking two characters that have swords, are arrogant, all about themselves, and have cool stellar things about them, and see who is truly the better form fighter. I'm going to explain why it is not close and elaborate more further on with it. I hope you guys will enjoy why Vergil versus Heimdall is not close.
She live by the park, it's getting dark. My clock on my lap, I'm just thinking smart, so she hop out. She switching this shit, this the slickest shit. She got 2 minutes, if she ain't back out, then she gon' need a lift. She left her phone, so I picked it up. This hoe slow as fuck, now miss calls, 3 of them for mom, the other 6 they duck. I look up.
Vergil, the half-demon, half-angel, and twin brother to Dante, and one of, not the most annoying character in fucking Marvel vs. Capcom 3. I fucking hate this man. This version of Vergil is going to be post Devil May Cry 5, the most recent, and one of the most, if not the most popular version of Vergil from his time. Vergil is a skilled swordsman, knowing the art of sword play like no other, scaling multiple times to his brother Dante, and even flat out injuring him to the greatest extent Dante's ever seen, to damn near killing him like how Thor did Kratos, and has the capability like Jetstream Sam and Raiden to bypass durability with his sword. His great blade that imitates the case of matter of frost movement, with also the case of matter of frost negation of a person's capabilities. It's a hack and showcases the capability to be a split and sage form of movement, to where in gameplay set by the case matter creator of Devil May Cry and other forms of showcasing to be able to move past a person's general perception and move faster than the eye can see, with scaling to Dante making him easily faster than light, with Dante doing the same, and multiple times showcasing speed like no other. This case of also having the capability to bypass a person's durability, with the case of it being a spiritual form of attack that a person generally cannot go ahead and stop unless they have a great matter of conceptual spirit or capability or durability beyond the station of what this sword could split through. Pretty much Vergil could defy all matters of person's durability as long as the case of matter of this blade can sink into a matter of a person's soul or inner being, to where he pretty much can split through their conscious of soul, to the point where when he hits them, he's hitting them so fast and so deadly they pretty much discombobulate spiritually. So this allows him to do a crazy, absurd matter of hacks and capabilities like no other. He's a skilled fighter, swordsman, versatile, has multiple forms that amp his base visuals, as the case of matter of his hacks, and same time physicality goes compound in multiple forms of raw, dank craze, case of matter of skill. And again, we're scaling to Dante, who multiple times gets stronger throughout the games and things that happen in between the games, shines the fact that easily with scaling to Dante and other cuffs, other characters, and killing versions of his son, or the case of matter of people's beings that are pretty much incarnate of conceptions themselves, would easily make him on multiple forms the case of the lowest end mid multiversal to the case of arguably at high end high multiversal, and somebody can even try to go ahead and wank outer versal, but I feel like consistently with the case of matter of his double trigger multiversatility with the blade, his hacks, and the case of durability negation, aka basically spiritual HF blade, this will allow him to pretty much ride him for any form of a foe. With speed, again, scaling to Dante at the lowest end will make him multiple times faster than light on a massively faster than light scale. But with scaling to him on the greater forms, his greater forms beyond, scaling above his son and different concepts, this will easily make him infinite to immeasurable speed, to even getting him to irrelevant speed on a higher cusp, depending on how you perceive the spirit case of destruction thing. But there's arguable essence of possibly getting him to inaccessible. But from what I've researched, as y'all know, I'm not a fan of Devil May Cry, and I want to say shout out to Ivan Unstoppable, as he's the person that provided me with the scans, and I took a great deal of knowledge from his video and picked some different stuff. And shout out to my boy Jensen for some different account of things to go ahead and look into, as again, I'm not Devil May Cry fan, as it never really been my games, even though hearing a lot of this shit does sound dank and busting to get into. So maybe I'll pick up Devil May Cry 5 eventually. But when it comes down to the case and matter of this greater Eftelana stuff, it all goes down to the man Ivan, who's a dope case and matter power scaler. Check out his channel if you would like to go and see more stuff like this. Seemed like a cool dude as well, so shout out to him. But besides all that, in full, someone like Vergil is a crazy case and matter of fighter, ridiculously fast, splitting edge, and a man not to be trifled with. But how does he stand to the herald of Ragnarok?
Completely giving away your position. What idiots.
Heimdall, the son of Odin and 9 mothers. I can't even explain how that's the case. The wielder of Gjallarhorn, herald of Ragnarok, and watchman of the Aesir, is one of the most trusted sons of the All-Father, and one of the most renowned case of sons of him for being a skilled, crazed fighter and having abilities like no other. He is a man that's very cocky and all about himself because of his naturally born gift of being a god of the Aesir, Bifrost. A Bifrost glare / look that allows him to have the capability of precognition, aka foresight. This allows him to read people's minds and intentions, allowing him to have a preset mindset of what you're going to do before you do it or when you're about to do it. And so this allows him, with his super speed, he's been accounted to be a speedster, and literally look at the footage. I mean, you have to have super speed to be moving like this. He's built different, okay? And can move around a person no matter what they do. Able to slap around Atreus, able to dodge and move around Kratos, tag him here and there, and just pretty much just play people like a bitch. He's never been hit before by multiple people, and he doesn't even remember when he got hit. If I had to suggest who hit him from headcanon, it would be Thor, because he's afraid of what Thor would do to him after peeking into his eyes and throwing the arrow down that he catch from Atreus. And most importantly, the fact that Thor overscales him, as I stated multiple times in the case of matter of different videos, and it's just narratively shown. And like within the case of why the Tarnish versus Thor is not a debate video that I made, go check it out, shameless plug. We obviously know that Thor is the big dog of the Norse pantheon, except for Odin, the All-Father himself. But yeah, Heimdall pretty much can move around people like no other, and this is a thing that he's been using for years to pretty much easily deal with niggas like no other. And this is possibly how he was able to tame his pet lime Goldthopper, which he used in combat against Kratos. And wielding Gjallarhorn, a device that was made for the cause of Ragnarok, when need to come into play for the end of the Aesir and the staying sense of the occasion for better form purpose of a new world. Gjallarhorn was entrusted to him, Heimdall, and this allows him to go ahead and preserve the end of Ragnarok coming into play through the end of Asgard as well, because whoever blows in to Gjallarhorn opens all the 9 realms and pretty much awakens hellish hate coming to Asgard's doorstep. And as the watchman of Heather's wall, aka the wall all around Asgard, he pretty much secures that capability. But besides the case of Presight, with his skill and renownedness and capabilities, he has a great sword that is similar to the case of Freya's great Heimdall's sword of Asgardian steel, and he uses it with great precision, even though he has not used it in a very long time, and kind of just feeble flocks it around. He has Bifrost, uses defensively and offensively. Bifrost breaking down a person with being a kind of sense of poison, but really he's just like a upstand of damage when it comes down to outputting a great deal of pressure on a person. But also he has a capability to slow down time and move like time is slowed down through a hack or base physical, as he does use his body to do it, allowing him easily, with also outscaling Kratos and Atreus, and multiple times showcasing the capability to dodge and move around people like the Flash, would easily get him infinite to immeasurable speed pretty casually when it comes down to the case of matter of movement, and even irrelevant depending on how you perceive him in comparison to someone like Kratos, what is being said. But there's an argument that the precognition / the case of matter of him having a preset mindset of what Kratos is going to do, there's a little bit more easier leeway within the ability to get around him in between correspondence and movement. But besides that, He has a capability to regenerate with using Bifrost, and has multiple showcasings of being able to dynamically move around people with his movement, and uses Gjallarhorn as this kind of little feeble, crack thing. Again, he doesn't blow into it because the eventual fate of bad, but the bombastic blow that comes with the case of the horn is something to take in consideration. But yeah, that's pretty much Heimdall, but in the case of matter of everything else that needs to be explained for how he is in comparison to Vergil will be explained. But to say for this general sentence of like what he can do from a battle stand, it is a very mixed thing, because again, his attacks or anything else is kind of contextual as he faces people that are fucking fodder in comparison to him, but he never has consistency really defining his capabilities of this and this and that and the third. But I'll go ahead and explain that more. For how the battle is though, if it isn't obvious, Vergil outscales him multiple times though. But the reason why is a mixed bar thing to go and explain, but I'll simply say this. Vergil obviously has greater form of hacks and capabilities, and that's in that bypasses his durability regardless of wherever you put him. Again, he overskills Atreus and Thrud and has been held to a very high regard, and I would say he would reasonably scale to Baldur mainly on his hacks and capabilities, but would not be able to physically obviously damage Baldur enough or even actually kill him, because his only weakness is the mistletoe, and he can never have that because he doesn't even know that himself, and most importantly, that it's not base equipment. I would say that you could easily have him at low multiversal at a great end and put him higher, as that's the greatest sense of consistency you can get him, and I feel like mid or anything else is arguably Wink, and he's kind of consistent on that stand. But again, I don't really know where to strong formally scale him besides what is already narratively set in play within the verse. So Vergil having a lot more consistency, scaling to a guy that is in the same measurement of power and not getting dicked down by a guy after getting hit once in his life arguably, I would say it's easy for Vergil to be able to easily decimate him when he gets his beautiful on. And most importantly, the fact that someone like Heimdall only has 3 hacks that can maybe do something. His foresight, his slowdown time effect, and the case of his Bifrost will get countered by Vergil pretty easily as the fight goes on, as Vergil has the speed, the experience, the style, and most importantly, easily has showcased the capability to speak to somebody that has the capability to warp time to their command. And most importantly, he eventually will catch up with speed to be able to cut someone like Heimdall and put him down for good. So yeah, that's pretty much it for the battle. Vergil wins, low diff. It's not really going to be that much of a problem. It would be more of an annoyance for the half angel, half demon brother of Dante. I hope you guys have learned something and enjoyed. I'm going to see you guys in the next one. Tell me what more battles you guys will like. Love y'all. Peace out, Marmin.
This isn't who you want to be!
How are you going to be a Norse god with grills and you die by Gray Andrew Tate? Like, that's crazy. That could not be me. This man Kratos looking like he just killed his family again, bro. Listen, you killed the most discount Justin Bieber, bro. You got the victory.